What's up, everybody? Matt DeBerry, dogpost.com. Had an interesting question that was running through my mind earlier this week. Just wanted to make a video about it. Little different type of a video, not really team related or recruiting related, but the Atlanta Braves are on a roll and the Georgia Bulldogs are the number one team in college football heading into this season. So I was thinking, what happens first, right? Another Braves World Series or another Georgia Bulldog National Championship? The Braves have the best record in baseball, struggling somewhat. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games, but they could make another real run at a World Series. Now, before everyone comes after me, right, I know that not every Braves fan is a Georgia Bulldog fan, and not every Georgia Bulldog fan is a Braves fan, right? But there's a lot in there, right? There are a healthy amount of people who love both the Braves and the Dogs, right? I'm a big Braves guy, and of course, 2 years ago, the Braves won their first World Series since 1995, and the Dogs won their first national championship since 1980. They both won it the same year, basically, right? And I think it could happen this year. Now, the easy answer is the Braves, because the World Series happens before the end of the college football season. But I would say the Georgia Bulldogs for a number of reasons. And let's dig right into it, right? They have a favorable schedule, right? Everyone knows it. It's an easier schedule than in years past, but Georgia has everything you need to win a championship. I know a lot of people have questions about the quarterback, Carson Beck. I expect him to have a big year. I've been a Carson Beck guy for a long, long time. Arguably the best offensive line in college football, arguably the best defensive line in college football. We know what they're bringing back at linebacker, 2 returning starters. They've got an excellent secondary. They've got plenty of backs, plenty of weapons. They've got arguably the best player in college football, Brock Bowers. It's easy to understand why Georgia could win a third straight national title. So my pick would be Georgia for a lot of those reasons. And because the Braves are they're scaring me a little bit. They're 72-41 right now as I make this video on Friday. They got a big series with the Mets coming up, but man, starting pitching is scaring me to death. The bullpen is also starting to scare me a little bit as well. Not a little bit, kind of a lot. They're hitting the ball. They're smashing the ball still, putting up runs, but they're not pitching well. Bryce Elder is kind of falling off. People have caught up to him, right? He's not pitched very well recently. As good as Spencer Strider is, he throws a stinker out there once every 2 to 3 weeks. We know what he did in the playoffs last year. He was young, but he didn't have anything left. He was out of gas. His arm was done, and he had a really poor performance against the Phillies, who knocked the Braves out of the playoffs last year. Charlie Morton is old. He's not getting any younger. They need Kyle Wright back for sure. I think he comes back at the end of this month, maybe early September. Max Fried is Max Fried, right? You got your ace back. They need him now more than ever to be that guy. I'm still hoping Mike Soroka can come back and be healthy at some point. I don't know if that's, we're going to see that same Mike Soroka into the playoffs this year, but the starting pitching worries me, and the bullpen is not great a lot of the time recently, but they just have not been playing World Series caliber baseball since the All-Star break. And again, if you're not a Braves fan, sorry, this video is not for you. It's still the offseason. I probably should have done this back in May or June, but June was full of recruiting. July was full of commitments and recruiting as well. But, these are, 2 organizations heading in the right direction for sure. I mean, Georgia's 2-time national champions. Well, kind of on their way to a third, right? If Georgia's as good as everyone says they are, they're going to be in the playoff again. I expect them to be in the college football playoff again. More on that. Sign up to the newsletter down below. It is free. It's free. Sign up. You get an email every day with lots of content. A lot of it's free content. It's the best deal in the world, right? Sign up to the newsletter. The link is down below. We want to get y'all over on Dog Post. Got a lot of insider scoop, team scoop, recruiting scoop. Got a lot going on. Give us a shot over on Dog Post. But yeah, this video this is the shirt. I wear this sometimes. The Braves, the Dogs. It's funny because 2 years ago they had the big Braves World Series celebration when Missouri came to town in Athens, right? And I think it's going to set up the same way. If the Braves win the World Series this year, the celebration game, right? Blooper coming to town, Sanford Stadium. It's going to be against Missouri again. So the last 2 times Missouri, there's a chance that the last 2 times Missouri comes to play in Athens, they're celebrating a Braves World Series championship that day. So that would be really cool. But I know if you're a Georgia fan, who also pulls for the Braves, that Halloween weekend is something special. I remember covering Georgia's big win over Florida 2 years ago. We rushed back to the hotel after we did, our riding home. We got the stories out, and we turn on the game. It's sixth inning. The Braves were down 1, and we got to see the Dansby Swanson home run to tie the game. I believe it was in the 7th inning. The Jorge Soler home run back to back that gave the Braves the lead. And they went up 3-1 against the Astros, that World Series. So you get Georgia, Florida, you get Halloween weekend, and the World Series is going on. So I think there's a real chance that when Georgia fans, who are also Braves fans, again, that's not everyone, but people who love both, they're going to be watching, or possibly see another Georgia win over Florida, and then possibly a Braves World Series. But the Braves have to get it together. I still think this may be the best Braves lineup I've seen in my life. Ronnie is doing Ronnie. Ozzie Albies is playing great. Austin Riley is kind of been on a tear. Matt Olson is just smashing the ball left and right. My boy Michael Harris doing his thing at the bottom of the order. Orlando Arcia making everyone forget about Dansby Swanson. They've got a great catching, duo, right? Sean Murphy, Travis d'Arnaud. I got to figure out left field a little bit. Ozuna, playing steadier now. He was awful at the beginning of the year, but a red hot Marcell Ozuna. These Braves are tough to stop, right? The one thing they can't happen is for these guys to just go in a slump in September and October. If they continue to smash the ball like they have been pretty much all year and get off to these early, starts in the first inning, right? Best first inning team in baseball. If they get off to these hot starts, continue hitting, and that pitching just kind of stays steady or even increases, they're going to have a chance to do big things. The Reds can be kind of scary. I think they're maybe a year or two behind right now, but they got some dudes, right? The Dodgers are going to be the Dodgers. I think the Giants are playing a lot better. I mean, the Cubs just beat the Braves in a series. The Phillies are going to get hot at some point. If the Phillies get hot going into the playoffs, they're going to be tough to deal with. But the Braves have the best record of baseball. The Dogs are number 1 heading into the season. I think there is a chance. There's a chance we could have 2021 all over again. Braves World Series, Georgia National Championship. But what comes first? I'm still not completely sold on the Braves winning the World Series this year, just because what I've seen the past 2 weeks. Again, they just haven't been playing World Series caliber baseball right now, and it's due to the starting pitching and the bullpen. But I think Georgia has a better chance of winning the national championship this season than the Braves do of winning the World Series. But if I'm wrong, you let me know. But as far as Georgia goes, Michigan should be really good. Ohio State should be really good. Alabama, LSU, they're going to be really good. But Georgia should be able to cruise through the regular season unless they trip up in Knoxville. I'm higher on Kentucky than everyone else. I think a healthy Devin Leary could go a long way. I like the pieces they added in the transfer portal, especially on the offensive line. I think they've got quality defenders. Kentucky could really screw things up for some teams. But most people think Tennessee is going to be the best team Georgia plays in the regular season. And I totally get that. Playing up in Neyland Stadium, too, is never easy, although Georgia's made it look easy the last 3 times they've gone up there. But at the end of the day, I think Georgia is going to be in the playoffs. There's no reason why they shouldn't. And unless there's one team out there just bulldozing everyone, I think Georgia has a really good shot of winning their 3rd straight. And it's not just because I cover the team, but I do know this team inside and out. And if y'all are, the people watching this video also know more about Georgia football than 99% of college football fans out there. Y'all are the smartest. Y'all are watching my videos. You're on Dog Post. It's harder to find a smarter Georgia fan than y'all. Y'all are pretty up to date on everything. We try to teach y'all or show y'all what's going on, explain what we're hearing behind the scenes, and we really appreciate y'all watching this video. Now, this one, I guess, could be kind of dumb, all right? If you're not a baseball guy, you're not a Braves guy, you're skipping through this video, but again, it's still somewhat of the offseason, right? So I want to get this video out there while the Braves are still in first place and while Georgia is still in first place, because I do think there's quite a bit of turnover for Georgia fans and Braves fans. So a lot of people who like both those teams. The Braves are, best team in baseball right now. Just hasn't been a great last week and a half. Get that starting pitching under control. I hope the bullpen can kind of pitch a little better. It's been tough to watch the past few games, actually. Just it's been really busy for me around the house with work stuff too, and I'll be seeing Dylan Raiola play tonight, Friday night, so I'll miss Atlanta's first game with the Mets, but could be another special fall for both the Braves and the Dogs. What do you think? Who wins their next title first, right? Braves, another World Series, or another national championship for the Georgia Bulldogs? Could they have a season like this again? They could. I think they really could. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you over on Dog Post.